I'm beyond this fucking world. Now look, check this out, right? Shout out to the Soul Group Subconscious Community. Read a real 144,000. Anybody else talking about it, they talk about some Jewish version of it. They going to hell. We creating the heaven that they wish they could go to. You better believe it, motherfucker. Because we fuck mothers. We fuck the feminine energy up. I'm going Jeepers Creepers in this hole. All I got to do is learn the mechanisms. I looked at all these creatures and beings' desires and see how they lost in it. So they need God in that realm too. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. So as an angel, my message came and fucked up all their feelings and they mind. I drove one to kill themselves. I'm gonna get busy right after this live stream and watch y'all see all my blockages light up too. And I know what I did, what I fought. So I can't say the universe helped me with shit. It's just me and God at this point. I don't even know what people be talking about with the universe that transmute as actual people, places, and things that all y'all come to degrees of helping each other in some type of way. I ain't never had that with nothing, not parents, not nothing. So that showed me there's other things in this world. And I'm glad I got my knowledge, because if I wouldn't have been aware of these things, I wouldn't be able to teach y'all how y'all getting attacked in other ways that don't got anything to do with other humans and other fucking things that you're just familiar with based upon Walt Disney and shit like that. So you can have confirmation as a spirit that you are right when you be experiencing other type shit that really don't got nothing to do with your next door neighbor or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I seen it, so I'm here to teach it. Yes, you right. Now I'm going to give you, throughout these next live streams, the actual thing to look for so you can, oh, that's it. And I always been seeing that. Oh, now you could go on attack mode and not just be in survival mode by being attacked and not knowing what you always getting the fuck attacked with. And the shadow government be creating a lot of these goddamn golems that they don't got no more control over. So it's up to you to get control of it, because we all got access, because it's teamwork makes the dream work, which means we all got footprints in the sand. We all got a piece of that energy. Just some of us lower on a percentage scale than others. So a lot of us ain't aware of that small percentage level. It's too small, and we got too much other percentage levels we have access to be familiar with and to be busy with and be distracted with. But once we start to see that, and for people who got the most less percentage scale on a lower ladder scale, you'll still be able to fight too. So you can get back on a level and skip processes. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the shit I be on. I be on trying to skip processes. I don't be on trying to go through certain processes. If I'm aware, once you know better, you do better. You skip all kind of lifetimes. And take that whole lifetime you would have lived as an energy that was already written in the stars and didn't even have to experience it, because you separated yourself and did your own Lucifer shadow work, devil's advocate energy. So all the energy that was meant for you, once you so far with God put you in this kind of act, like you go through time loops where all the shit that's meant for you ain't even got to experience it, and you did experience it, and you could take that all and put it in one box as a knowledge you already got without ever actually experiencing it, because it's a form of existence in the spiritual world before it condensed physically. So in the metaphysical fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, just a mind state, it's a line of reason, a train of thought you could ride down to bend in to become a reality for you, but it's always meant for you. But being an angel or being a wise spirit that's with God, you actually outside the box where you can see that and choose not to ride it, but it's still your energy, and you could use it to direct it in another area as a form of a teaching to teach other spirits don't go down that line of event, because it's still a remnants here and we all are experiencing it. Like, it's deep. I'm telling you, it's real deep. I don't want to get into all my life like that, but like I'm telling you, y'all, you gonna know what I'm talking about when you get there. And you already gonna be like, I don't even need to talk to Doelow about this, because for me to even be here right now, I already know he's seen this, he's seen that, he thought about this, he thought about that, because that's the only way you can even be here to see it. So, I'm not fuck with Doelow. Thank you so much for the donation, Kendall Joshua. You said I was taught different from what I experienced. Real shit. Shit, I was too. So God taught me early. Don't even accept validation, good or bad. None of that is what going to lead you to you being you and knowing who you are and shit like that. But in my life, making myself an Aries and Antares moon, Uriah and triple fire 888 as my degrees, and being a number 9 and shit like that, I didn't even have it even if I wanted to. And I'm realizing that God, all possibility, I wouldn't have the thought in my mind as rooted as I got it now if I didn't create that kind of scenario this time, where it's something I didn't need and it's something I didn't have anyway. So those times that I did get jealous of other people in my life that had these things and shit like that, right? It was I was able to not be in an ego where I use that against them and observe myself in a way of this is the position I'm supposed to be in. And God was able to have my time go towards the things that my age, 3 years old and up, supposed to be in. Other than everybody in my age group and what they fell short to as far as the Masons and the Jews' intellectual property of how they raised the world with their video games and shit like that. Because that's how God saved me. Because here's the thing. You have Masons and Jews up here trying to tell y'all they hate on each other like other religious people. Oh, other Jews need to teach more. Other Masons need to teach more. That's actually rhetoric. They actually don't know anything. Because last time I checked, every time I played a video game, Sonic the Hedgehog, every time I watched a television show, a cartoon, that was Mason's teachings. So me being outside in and then interacting with the world and having to raise myself, I was able to not understand what it means for another individual to give another person an idea. And then so when I was around my friends, I used to always think that they developed their own idea when they be with their family that I didn't have, like dinner tables and shit like that, right? All the way to the point that I start to realize, no, the world worked as people share ideas and they all built relationships based on that compatibility. I never had. So I had to learn that. So my whole angle of looking at life and dealing with humans is learning the mechanisms of that, not ever being involved in that and learning what about me and where I'm validated on that. I never even had that thought. Just to get older to realize that's how everybody manifested them being in the position that they in. Whether negatively or positively. A lot of people manifest in situations of not liking a family or too many responsibilities. A lot of other people manifest in situations of getting help. Like you would hear a celebrity story. They claim that they did everything by themselves, but whatever they claim that they did by themselves is always an incoming of someone who discovered them. Is always an incoming of something like that. Like I have to be the discoverer. I have to be the promoter. I had to be all that. So that was my whole point. And when I even made that post saying at this point, I basically got to become a money-making machine, become the walk-in version of money. I have to be the money and then sell the money for me to even make $1 million off that business. Or I won't even get $1 million. Like, there's no such thing as people like me or angels who get help from the world at all. I know every instances of every little dime, every little manifestation, every little circumstance, relationship that was in my life. I know what I did and what I didn't do. It was no such thing how I see everybody, because once upon a time, it was a situation where people were saying there's nothing new up under the sun. We got YouTube now, everybody connected, even in times that people you wouldn't even know, that's strangers and shit like that, you would know. So now we can know it's proof that it is something new up under the sun. Me, I ain't never had that thought. I ain't never had that that universal connection y'all got or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? So I know for a fact, all y'all humans take for granted certain things that if y'all didn't have it, y'all know what I'm talking about. And it goes beyond that connection shit with humans and shit like that. It go beyond that. It go way beyond that shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the universe ain't shit. Y'all gonna know that real close in y'all motherfucking life. Y'all gonna know that real close, real soon in y'all motherfucking life. The universe ain't shit. So all y'all shit y'all be claiming that spiritual and shit like that. No, y'all basically be saying this is how y'all spirits got lost because y'all like to be spiritual magicians in the wrong way. Because spirits make alchemy. We create circumstances, delusions that bend in on itself and become the world. And when y'all get lost in all y'all delusions and shit like that, y'all call that spirituality or being more intuitive or being more. And in the spiritual world, that's how y'all made this world down here. You get lost in all organs and minds and shit. That's demonic spirits. All the way to the point that we're going through a Pisces new moon. Pisces is the most demonic energy. We're not talking about zodiac. We're not talking about y'all. So get out y'all ego right now. We're talking about how we transition into this world. Everything is in reverse. So when you're more lost as a spirit in all these type of la-la lands, you accumulate minds and organs that make humans and bugs and shit like that, right? So coming down here, utilizing a lot of that 12th house energy, 11th house energy, and things of that nature is not intuitive, is not spiritual, is how spirits got lost. It's demonic spirits, spirits that like to hold on to feelings or mental forms and how we accumulated these organs in the first place. So the shadow government is actually teaching y'all in reverse. They're teaching y'all how to keep coming back here. And every story that y'all make up of how y'all got here, y'all copying their version of a religious text or beginning story text of the world. But it's all y'all explaining how y'all brought yourselves here. And all y'all got y'all own mind. So it all appear to be like a superhero or a superwoman. Y'all all got your own superpowers, but all y'all powers together come together like Captain Planet, and now we in this world of floatness. And y'all can't seem to understand that. Y'all keep giving y'all power outside of y'all to something that the shadow government created. So that spiritual world is down here also. So who rule the mind is the motherfuckers who rule down here. And we are the spirits all of us are talking about. So when people be saying the most high or the source or whatever like that, you talk about the source of your intellectual property. That's some fucking Jew. You know what I'm saying? And then when y'all be saying, we need to go back to Kemet or whatever like that, things of that nature, that's when they was doing it over there first. So when you start getting into shit like Hiram and Biff and Abraham and shit like that, that's just what the Masons did over there first. So that was the language and the sigil based on that geographical, tropical, as above, so below astrology system and astronomy. And as they follow the stars to move over, they give different language based upon the hieroglyphic and the cuneiform that match the sun transition of the energy that they're calling the zodiac as above, so below. So when they follow the star, they go follow that land, take over the indigenous people, take their A-E-I-O-U, construct a word out of it and say, bitch, this the one God. And now we got a one God, a one world, Abraham, one world government. It's really a group of people, one intellectual property sitting around a round table saying, this our shit, how we running shit. And then they called it Lucifer once upon a time. Then they start calling it the New Covenant. Then they start calling it the motherfucking anytime you following the light, you following somebody's intellectual property to create a circumstance for us all to live up under. That's it. And then they put a new symbol there. It's always fill in the blank. You know what I'm saying? Fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. So we get Looney Tunes one year, we get Twilight Zone one year, we get The Matrix one year, we get Captain America logo one year. Every time they put a new Mason on a watchtower or a new Jew on a watchtower, aka some new person who created some type of Shakespeare energy that other people could learn from their anthropomorphized dawn before time dinosaur library class in the 3rd grade type of stories and shit like that. So anytime you hear a story about a flood, these are actual men and women who are doing these things because they wouldn't feel it was so important to write it down. You wouldn't know what no God did, the flood, any world. So anytime you hear a story about a man writing down something about the world being flooded, how they know that? To me, as being Archangel Uriel, that sounds like whoever created the language created a concept of this our rulership, and anytime the sheep don't go up under all law, whatever technology we're using at the moment, we're going to wipe them out. You know what I'm saying? And therefore create a story for people that come after them to know if you go against God's law, you get wiped out with a flood. Now, a flood could look like COVID. A flood could look like the pharmaceutical right now company. A flood could look like them creating allegories to make people think they fighting a war for a country. A flood could look like you going to take over another country based on they don't agree on religious basis with the Moses Red Sea concept, aka going to change people's thoughts because they go to war with their feelings, water. So the Red Sea passion, going to war with them, taking over their land with a Moses concept, a new masculine thought to even out the water so they can have clear, prosperous lands for the sheep-minded individuals. It's a witchcraft. If you don't even know what the fuck that's going on, how the fuck you gonna teach me about how America was built? And you don't even know that. But you don't even know what the fuck I was just saying. But you gonna pull out a Bible and tell me I need one of those scriptures for my soul's salvation? But you don't know the groups of individuals who created that context to salvate themselves, to rule worlds? You don't know that though? Shut your ass up, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You ain't shit. Pope, get out your seat. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Real shit. Shit. Oh, I'm saying, y'all hit that flight button in this motherfucker. Now let's get back into the goddamn astrology so you can know some self-gratification. Because you might flunked around, be going through something in your life based upon your spiritual growth and things you have to do as far as internal work to get rid of certain blockages like Uriel and shit like that. But you might fuck around and be lost up on the internet. So you watch me, but you also get interested by other individuals. You might come across an astrologer, a gemstar reader, especially a tarot card reader, and they'll fuck around and have you thinking that your whole life and going through some shit because of another fucking human, another ain't shit ass human. And then, if you a person who ain't shit, they'll boost your ego to make you think somebody else is going through something because of how they treated you or something. And you need to know you ain't shit. that's ego boosting, and that's putting you in situations where you don't have to take no self accountability, like you ain't did anything wrong. And last time I checked, it take two to tango. So for any situation to go downhill, motherfuckers need to take self accountability. And if you on my channel, but you find yourself getting lost on other channels every now and then, which is cool, you know what I'm saying? Every now and then you might stumble across somebody's channel that might boost your ego and might make you think that, yes, it's somebody else's duty and obligation for something to be straight, and everything that they going through is something to you, something that got something to do with you. But if you don't look in the goddamn mirror, you ain't gonna go out in your life and do no goddamn self-accountability and shit like that, because somebody that got you wet and boosted your ego to make you think that you can do no goddamn wrong. So while you somewhere thinking that everybody else is going wrong, people about to start manifesting, and your ass gonna see 10 years pass, and your ass ain't do nothing but manifest, sitting on your ass watching a reader tell you to wait 6 months for something that you ain't never gonna manifest yourself, because you done thought your feelings and thoughts can make us some money. You done thought your feelings and thoughts can manifest us some shit in the world. You done thought your feelings and thoughts was more important than actually putting in the goddamn work to actually interact with reality. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, this is where a lot of y'all fail at also. Because everybody are adults. So anytime you start hearing things where it sounds like a person is describing people as being emotionally immature, no one's in high school anymore. So if you an adult and you're interacting with people that act like they're in high school or something like that, right? Which no one is, that they're an adult. You might think that it's like that if you lost on the internet, because a person will make you believe this person is hot and a feeling, this person is hot. Listen, people who are adults, we express our feelings and we can't get along because of our feelings, which is why the relationship don't work. So we're not going to act like we're in high school. That's fake woke. No one's running around talking about hiding this, hiding that, unless you a kid on a goddamn internet, just in an adult body right now, and you don't know how to, you ain't been living life. So you didn't try to figure out a witchcraft, how you can jump out in life without experiencing no rejection or no letdowns or some shit like that. And that's non-existent, which is why you're in the house for the past 10 years and not manifesting or materializing what the fuck you need to be materializing. You're allowing other motherfuckers materializing off of your non-materializing ass. You see what I'm saying? So you need to peep game too. And y'all need to start putting in motherfucking work in reality, so you actually have a testimony in this motherfucking shit. So you can teach somebody about a accountability reevaluation that another person can listen to you and be like, yeah, this is what I need to change about myself. And then they start to experience manifesting their creative gifts being unblocked, them being able to have the courage to start presenting themselves like Uriel, other than being like, oh yeah, this is someone else's fault, so let me not upload a video, let me not do that song today, let me not do nothing today, let me wait before I message that manager or that person who could sign me to that record deal, because this gem star astrologer tarot card reader just told me they're going through something right now, so let me wait 6 months from now, and that's going to be the right time. And 6 years didn't pass. Thank you so much for the donation, Clark Scott. I appreciate that from the bottom, Mark. Where the whole spiritual concept is for self-evaluation, not self-victimizing, blaming others, and you don't got no self-accountability. That's fake woke and high school emotional childishness. Emotional, what they call that? Emotional immaturity. That's emotional immaturity. And if you're an adult, you have no business even dealing with someone who got, how you a person that you like to express your feelings and you are someone who ain't. That someone made that up. That is their feelings. That's a person that's not for you. Get the fuck away from them. Thank you so much for the donation, Natasha Rodriguez. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. So yeah, don't be listening to nobody that's telling you to wait for somebody's feelings. That is their feelings. That's not for you. That's demonic world to get you sitting around making somebody else rich for the next 12 years. So if it ain't nothing about what you need to do, what you need to unblock, what you need to take self-accountability on, what shadow work you need to do, so you could be in the right places to manifest the right people, places, and things, that is not spiritual knowledge. If it got anything to do with another person that ain't shit just like you, that's just somebody you was listening to get entertained by, and because you don't want to really do shit in your life anyway. Your destiny is not in the hands of nobody else's. Always remember that. Uriel told you that, because that's what it boils down to. And you need to understand this. Your destiny is not in the hands of anyone. And if people are not on the path you're on, you're just in a space that's not fulfilled what God wants you to see. So God wants you to separate from that location, place, thing, or people, so God could put you in the right people, places, and things. And that's the shadow work we need to be teaching. Not how these people, places, and things is this, that, and the third, and 12 months from now, this is going to happen. And if you just do this, that, that's demonic. That's demonic. That's holding you back. See what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing. So to adjust all these energies right now with the new moon, because this is what we all in right now. You know what I'm saying? To adjust these energies, these are the energies that we have to look out for, right? Moon square Mars in Gemini, learning how to communicate or think better when it comes to your passions, goals, and emotional vulnerability. So right now, we're going to have to learn how to do that. You may experience some frustration because there's going to be things you don't want to do. There's going to be people you don't want to talk to, things you don't want to get up and do. You're going to be trying to come up with other ideas, jack of all trades, master of none concept, Mars and Geminis, on how to get your creative expressions done, how to get your passions seen and the attention gravitated towards it without the actual energy work of Mars and Gemini needing you to do. And for the most part, with the moon square in there, it's going to show you the things you don't want to do that you have to do. It ain't no way out of it, or you're keep making a bigger bed, a bigger water bed with all this emotional funk that you ain't gonna be able to get out of because you're spiritually lazy. So you're gonna be sleeping for eternity, even in all the lifetimes that you are awake in, aka in the third dimension, you're not materializing or manifesting yourself in a position of satisfaction. Now, for the most part, here's the thing: Moon square and Mars, though, right? It's gonna make us react and respond to that 90-degree angle, with Moon being in Pisces and Mars being in Gemini. And it's going to force us to learn that frustration when 2 points is at a negative angle with each other. They're not on even ends. So how that play out in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, that's a mental formation that's not on even ends. And it's going to be the mental formation between your passions and an alignment between your emotional heart chakra, your feelings, your connections will put you in fight or flight mode. Now, depending on your signs of your versions of these things, that's how well you're going to be able to deal with it with the as above, so below. Because, you know, the as above, Mars, our passion, is in Gemini, and our fight or flight, or what makes us emotionally comfortable or not, is in Pisces. So you might got a sun, moon, or ascendant in Sag, Virgo, or Gemini to a certain degree, and Moon gonna take more of the power in Pisces. So you might feel a little bit unstable on trying to access these things with that alignment, because you're gonna feel like you need to do these things, but your way of going about it may be double the layer, because these things we have to go through that little frustration to learn it. But based upon your alignment already opposing or squaring it, you got to go through that first before you can even reach the frustration. So you got to deal with the frustration with yourself, getting out of your own ego, then reach the platform that God needs you to do externally with the as above, so below energy and shit like that. And for the most part, what we're going to be seeing is what emotionally make us feel comfortable and what we don't want to expose. Moon and Pisces, our dreams and imaginations, and how we want to manifest that in our life via people, places, and things, and how we got to go about doing it. It's square Mars, intent, willpower, passion, motivation, and desires. And then for the most part, we're forced in a context of that being Gemini, mutable air. We have to communicate. We have to share ideas. We got to be part of an association. We got to have some type of reputation already, aka we have already got talks, and other people are already aware in their mind and be talking about who you connected to and your ideas and what is it aligning with and things of that nature. So for the most part, if you haven't already planted good seeds, you're not even in that situation of being able to have that energy to accumulate. So you already got to play catch up, and you're going to meet that frustration. Moon square Mars, because it's going to force you to emotionally be like, all right, my dreams and imaginations, I want this to come in my life. Then boom, you're about to see the square. Mars and Gemini. God about to show you, okay, well, yeah, talk to this person, or do this, or show this idea with a passion, motivation, desire. And it might have an accumulation of things that you haven't got over yet, you haven't dealt with yet, unfinished business, shit that you look at like, damn, I gotta do all that. Well, I'll do that tomorrow. So you'll lead into procrastinating, or a whole bunch of situations to be like, well, why I can't just do it this way? I feel, here we go, tapping right back in the Moon again. I feel more comfortable if I can do it, and then tapping back into Pisces again, if I could do it in this type of imagination, this dream. And then you're going to start working on that at the esoteric drawing board to try to see if that's the truth and get all inspired by it. And then before you know it, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks pass, and you're going to realize no accumulation coming from it, no manifestation coming from it, just you sparking the light of some dead energy that you didn't participate with the right energy in. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, you need to be careful during this particular time too, trying to persuade the energies to go in a direction that is trying to show you to go in. You might be like, no, I feel more comfortable with this, and think that's the right thing you're doing because you get all inspired based upon what you just observed externally or internally. And therefore, now you're doing something else other than Mars and Gemini, communicating to others or expressing and talking about your passions, regardless if it appear to be negative or positive. That's not for you to sit there and be a caring about. You know what I'm saying? God needs you to express these energies out because you can't use them. And so for the most part, you need to use these things for the world. So whether it's toxic, negative, or positive, it can be used for another spirit to look at it from a distance to know what they can do and not to do, capabilities and incapabilities. Now you are expanding the universe. Now that vulnerability, God gonna put you in a situation where you no longer have to feel Yancey about it, because whatever materialized from it is going to turn into an ego. Then God going to be able to show you as confirmation that you don't have to be in fear or you don't have to feel regret about expressing that, because that actually what got you in this situation now, and you can use it as a testimony for other individuals, and you can stay on the track and do that on a broader scale now because you're willing to endure more, so I can give you more to give to others. So for the most part, if you're not on the path of God, you're not in no situation that you'd be able to do that. You're only going to have crumbs and be fighting crumbs with other demons, and those who got the same feathers flock together. So anytime you're in a situation of being like, man, all I see is demons and shit like that, that tells you where you at spiritually. So before you want to think that you better than another motherfucker, you need some shadow work. Go into that hall of mirrors and look at your motherfucking self, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Because once you start being in position with God, that's all that's coming out your mouth, because that's all in your surroundings as a spirit. God and what God wants you to show you. And God going to show you techniques of how to fight devils and demons. So when you come down here, you teaching people how to fight demons and shit like that, so they can get the fuck away from them if they in that position at the moment and ain't do enough shadow work or self-accountability to know that they're just as guilty as the motherfuckers that they see around to play victim. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Real motherfucking shit. That's a divine masculine and feminine for your ass right there. I'm Father Madam, bitch. I'm not. I'm the Empress and the Emperor, bitch. Don't go for that. Don't go for that. Y'all gotta let me be Aries sometimes. Let me be Aries sometimes. All right, but look, check this out, right? All right, now look. Moon conjuncts. Now look. Also, what you need to look out for: Moon conjuncting Saturn in late Aquarius, right? Now, because, you know, this is a conjunction, but they're in two different elements, right? So this kind of add layers to shit. Thank you so much for the donation, Natasha Rodriguez. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Real shit. You said Pisces moon used to be super flaunt. Prior to watching you, greatly appreciate. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Real shit. And you about to be going through some powerful times too. Yeah, I'm about to get to all the zodiacs too, specifically after the alignments of what we are going to be dealing with and what position we hold in this new moon phase of all of us becoming new individuals. Mainly Pisces, but all of us add energy to it. And we can change for ourselves too, but we're going to get into that. But also, this will be need to look out for during this transition of the motherfucking new moon in Pisces, right? Moon conjunct Saturn in late Aquarius, emotionally connecting to discipline, blockages, self-evaluation, or shedding dead mental or physical weight that's non-useful. So these are going to be the energies that you're going to be in. You're going to have the power to actually create a tower moment to any building that you have built that look like misery, that you be inside of, and call it your temple, because misery love company. You're going to be able to go outside in your yard, look at what you built for yourself to be inside of as a spirit, aka that house, that mind, and you're gonna be like, what kind of fucked up castle is this? Why did I think me being inside and all the things I manifested in there and I got from the shadow government to bring in there as leisure time, why did I think that I was actually doing something? I actually was wasting time. And I thought that sitting Indian style, lighting sage and meditating inside of that miserable ass temple was something. Now you outside of the mind. Now God can give you all new information to have you carve out a better house that don't look like a misery one. You know what I'm saying? A flunked out ass pyramid one on the back of a dollar bill. You know what I'm saying? You can get up under that, get away from that geographical location, cities and states of